Hey, I'm Dylan Cooper, and I'm a sophomore here at Campbellsville University. Today I'm going to be talking about how little to no homework is super beneficial towards students and their academics. Personally, I'm not a fan of homework, but not because I don't want to do the work or do the class, but because after a long day of practice or whatever you have to do, and school on top of it, it's the last thing you want to do, and it's the last thing you're thinking of. So, the main reason I have for no homework is how little free time students have because of jobs, athletics, or whatever they have going on. You know, some of us have a couple practices a day, plus if some guys work. So it really gives you little to no time to do what you actually want to do, and that makes people burn out a lot. Adding homework also makes students lose sleep and makes them feel overworked. Students who feel overworked typically produce less in the classroom and tend to burn out and not pay attention in class. Because if they have homework on top of an hour class a day and they have 3 classes and then an hour homework after that, that's 6 hours out of the day. And say the other 3 you have practice or work or whatever you have going on, that's 9 hours. And that leaves little to no free time to do whatever you feel like you need to do to be happy. Nowadays, there's more homework being assigned to younger kids, which isn't really good because they feel overworked too, being younger, and it's causing more and more kids to hate going to school and not want to go because all they have to do is work all day and then they have another hour or 2 of homework after that, which causes them to not want to go to school and will eventually make people think of school as something they don't want to do, which makes them burn out. If only they were taught to learn in just school and the environment instead of at home, they would come in more excited to learn, and they would treat school as a privilege, not as a job, where it shouldn't be a job, especially at such a young age. If schools focus more on what is taught in the classroom instead of outside the class, students would be more excited and more focused on the content taught instead of focusing on what they have to do after school. Because whatever they have to do after school is something they're thinking about during school, and while you're in school, you should be thinking about what you're learning. But in reality, they're thinking about what they have to get done in order to pass a class or get a certain grade that they need to get to go to whatever school they want to go to or get a job that they want. So if they were just focused more on what's going on in the classroom instead of what they got to do outside the classroom, they would be more productive in the classroom. And I believe that their grades and test scores would go up. So in conclusion, if students were given less or no work to do for a class outside the classroom, I believe that not only would their mood and feeling towards the class be better, but also their test scores, which is what a lot of schools test for. Because in high school and middle school and all that, it's all about how you test and what you test to determine what class you're in. But really, if they all focus on the same stuff, they could all achieve whatever test scores they want because they're not focusing on how much homework they have to get done, practice after, or whatever they have to do. So I feel that little to no homework would be real beneficial in time management and just letting people do what they want to do while they're in class or while they're outside of class. Because if you're not focusing on what you want to do outside of class, then you're really just becoming a robot and doing school over and over and over and just doing little tasks that teachers want you to do, when really you could focus on a hobby or something you want to do as a career, but instead you're focusing on getting a math worksheet done or studying for it or filling out a worksheet. So all in all, I believe that test scores and attendance would improve, and I hope you guys do the same and feel the same as I would, or at least see the points that I've given and they made you think a little bit about your own personal opinion towards homework.